everybody here can easily understand.
Oh, you know it. There's some living color in the cult of personality. Why? Because I have a personality of someone who wants to have a big personality of some national talk topics tonight, right here on the Ralph's Opinion Show. I am Ralph Williams, and welcome to the Ralph's Opinion Show. And tonight we are here. We have a lot to talk about: the good, the bad, and the ugly of President Trump. The shutdown still going on, still crying like a bunch of babies. All right. Simple as that. It's not hard. All right. Still crying. So, you know, we're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter X platforms, and also on the Kick Network as well. All right. Let's get started here with our studio sponsor here, which is Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. 724-201-0500. Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. Here they are right here. Here's Mata. You ought to call Mata today. Western Pennsylvania's #1 heating and air conditioning company, 724-201-0500. We're here at Studio 10 in Berlin, Maryland. All right, so just to let everyone know, we're here at Studio 10. Studios, actually, because I'm going to be having a B and a C studio setting up here real soon. So just to let you know, we're in Studio A right now here in Berlin, Maryland at Studios 10. All right. Also sponsored by Mike Dotson Realty, Ocean City, Maryland, 410-596-1681. Call Mike Dotson today for all your real estate needs. If you're interested even in just a rental, you know, you're coming into town here and you don't want to pay, you don't have to take out a loan to get a hotel, you can call Mike today at that number again, 410-596-1681, Mike Dotson Realty. All right. Let's also, our new sponsor here, we're going to have a few more coming up real soon here. But our new sponsor is Carey Insurance Company. All right. Carey Insurance, Ocean City, Maryland, Delmarva area code 302-642-6201. Ask for Steve. Tell Steve Ralph Williams sent you. Also tell Mike Dotson Ralph Williams sent you. And Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. Also tell them Ralph Williams sent you as well. All right. Let's get started with our show here. We got some comments in the comments section. Let's see who we have. All right, looks like Pensman Sports. How are you, Pensman? It's great to see you on the air. Pensman is also my monitor, so anyone that wants to comment tonight, please make sure you keep it on topic, all right, or topics more or less, because you know, we have a few we're going to talk about, but keep them on topic and do not, and I repeat, do not try to do anything stupid because you know, Pensman will get you. He is my monitor, and he will be monitoring my stuff tonight. All right, as far as some comments go as well. All right, so, okay, here we go here. I want to talk to you a little bit about some friends of mine. One of them is Pensman Sports. Don't forget to tune into him and his stuff. Like and subscribe. Help him and myself as well on our YouTube channels. Help us get to where we need to be. Help us get some more subscribers and more viewers, more everything. Our shows are very good. Pensman puts on some great shows. RW Media Productions is going to be putting on some more Ralph Reports coming up next week. And I got some news for you today that I want to pass on about the Ralph Williams Tony Moreno show. We'll talk about that later on. Also, Tiger Stripes Media and Brian Pettit. Don't forget to tune into his stuff as well. Same things. Like and subscribe on his YouTube channel. And also, please follow us on Facebook as well. All right. Also, the Sports Nuts. I had Brandon Keeler on yesterday. Check out the Sports Corner Show on my YouTube channel, Ralph Williams, RW Media. And those of you who are new tonight watching, I appreciate you being here. Please spread the word. Call your friend, call your cousin, call somebody, get them here participating in the show here as well. All right. Okay, let's get started here. Let's talk about, we have a couple things, Gaza, Israel, the Hamas, and the peace agreement. You know, I want to give Donald Trump some credit on this because he brokered this peace deal that no one else could do, not even former President Joe Biden. Nobody could do this deal. Nobody could get it done. But Donald Trump, President Trump got it done. He got it done. He finished it. He did it. Okay. He did the peace agreement. It has to be signed. They're releasing prisoners now. Things are going on. Okay. This is moving forward. Okay. And if he can convince the president of Israel to pardon or whatever to Netanyahu, who supposedly, from what I'm to the understanding, has some kind of issues that are, criminally oriented or something like that. I think he wants him to pardon him or do something. Netanyahu has done a lot for Israel as a prime minister. And I get it. He was, this war and whatever, but he had no choice in the matter. I mean, you think about this for a second. Hamas attacked Israel. And how many times have I said it on this program that Israel, despite the fact that they're supposed to be a peaceful country, how many more times do you accept this? Okay. And I brought up the thing that a lot of people don't want to talk about, and that's bullying in school. And I brought it up how, what do you do? What do you do when somebody bullies you? You take the bully out. And that's exactly what Israel was doing. And now Hamas should be lucky, because not only they took out, the whole situation with that, and that's a good thing that Israel was able to make a point to Hamas and any country around the Middle East that you're not going to attack us, because if you do, you're going to pay the price. And it's as simple as that. Okay. All right. So, all right, let's talk about, and that's Ralph's opinion tonight on that one. Now let's talk some about the, let's get into the government shutdown. What is it now? 10 days, 15 days, maybe? And it's getting old. Now we're not paying our military. And this is looking real bad for President Trump. It's looking bad for the Republicans. And it's also looking bad for the Democrats, because both parties are at fault for this. All right? They are both at fault. And you out there who thinks that this is, oh, well, my Democratic senator says that they're taking my Medicare and my Medicaid. Now, how many times have I told you? How many times on this program? If you listen back to some of my archive shows, which are on my YouTube channel and also on my website, www.rwmediaproductions.com. Okay? How many times have I said it? Many times. That Dave McCormick, Pennsylvania Senator, Junior Senator Dave McCormick, said that this was not something that was going to affect any of poor people. All right? The Medicaid's not being cut from poor people. Programs, wasted programs are getting cut. People who don't belong are getting off, or are going to be off of it. And if you're new to the program and you can physically work, you're going to have to go out and perform work or community service in order to keep your Medicaid. It's that simple. All right. But everybody's making a big issue out of this whole thing about how, oh, well, they're doing this, and this to us and all that. No, that's not what's going on here. That's not what's going on here in this government shutdown. All right. And I'm tired of the Republicans, the Democrats, Chuck Schumer, and all these other guys who keep on just continuing to do all this. And after a while, it gets old. And you get tired of hearing this flapping at the gums and doing nothing. Sit down. Let's go over this. Let's get this done. And let's quit playing around. No, you don't want to do that. For some strange reason, the Democrats are holding this up, and they're doing it to you. If you're a Democrat, they're doing it to you. If you're somebody who's a progressive, who relies on a lot of things, air traffic controllers are not being paid. They got to shut airports down. Okay? Military people, or civilian military people, not getting paid. Okay? And it's not because of President Trump. It's because of your Democratic leaders who continue to do this. All right. Yeah, I voted for President Trump. That's right, I did. Because I want a strong leader. I want somebody who's willing to take some chances, who's willing to do some things, who's willing to make moves, that kind of thing. Brandon Keeler tuning in today on Facebook. Thank you, Brandon, for tuning in. from the Sports Nuts. I said some things earlier. He was a guest on Sports Corner last night. Thank you again for being on. So, I mean, you just can't, do that. I mean, you're holding everything up, Democrats. You're holding everything up. Well, if you don't change this big, beautiful bill, we're not going to open the country. Well, you know what? You just don't get it. You gotta do something with this. You gotta work with somebody. I mean, somebody's got to sit down and put this together. You can't constantly be at each other's throats because it's not going to work. All right, it's really not going to work. I'm serious. It's not going to work. That's the whole problem. All right. And now everybody wants to, horse around with some of this stuff and just continue to do whatever they're going to do. All right. But it's not that easy. And it's not that simple either. And I get it. You don't like it. You're mad about it. Everyone is. But you as a voter should really be angry. Should really be mad. Because you know why? The reason I say this is because the whole thing is, in a nutshell, is the fact that, we have this situation. And now we have a situation where it's gotten completely out of hand. All right. I'm trying to find the audio here, which I'm looking for, of and that other senator, the one that makes all the noise. I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now. All right. I'm working on trying to find that video, the audio on that as soon as I can find it. Anyway, and that's exactly where we are. All right. It's that simple. It's not hard. It really isn't. I'm sorry to say that, but it's not hard. Not at all. All right. Simple, simple, simple. But you make it hard. You as a voter make it hard. You really do. You make it very, very hard, very tough for everybody. And that's unacceptable to me. It really is. So, I mean, and that's exactly what's going on. So, all right. All right. I'm having issues trying to find this audio here. As soon as I find it, it'll be on there. I was kind of looking for it here, but I don't see it. I don't know where it is. I had it here, but I don't know where it disappeared to. So that's okay. I'm not going to worry about it. I'll just I'll go where I need to go with it. But yeah, I wanted to play this audio because you know why? I'm tired of it. I'm sick of the whining, the crying, the everything else on this whole thing. You know, I'm just sick of it. I'm tired, and I don't want to deal with it anymore. Do you? Think about this. Do you really want to deal with this? All right. Okay. Aren't you tired of it? Well, of course, there are those of you out there who I've picked on for years, the lazy people who don't want to work. And I got people, listen to this now. I got people who are actually mad at me because I said things about how people are, you know, lazy out there, don't want to work. But then people are going to make comments. Well, I don't know anybody like that. Well, I do. I do. What do you mean you don't know anybody like that? There has to be somebody in your life that's lazy, that don't want to work. And we have them out there. They're there. I've seen them my whole life. People that don't want to work. All right. But it's gotten worse now since the COVID checks are gone. All right. It's gotten real bad and out of control. And that's a fact of the matter, is that it has gotten out of control. And it's worse now than it's ever been. All these, and I'll say this again, all these jobs out here, 8.2 million jobs in America, and nobody wants to work. Well, I don't have that in my life. Nope, I don't know anybody that doesn't have a job. Well, good for you. I'm glad, because I know people. I know somebody in my immediate family who don't want to work. Okay, he's a bum, and I'll tell him right to his face. I've already done it. He's a bum. He is a bum. Okay. And that's what a lot of people are in this country. There are people out here who are bums that just don't want to work at all. And you're causing the economy, as I mentioned before, to go down the toilet. All right. But this government shutdown is just really horrible. It's really awesome. It's really bad. So Pensman says, thank you, Pensman. I appreciate that. Thank you. So there we are. That's exactly where we are today. It's out of control. All right. It really is. It's really out of control. And I'm just surprised. I'm angry. I'm in a bad mood about it. I don't want to hear nothing more from anybody. So I mean, and that's exactly where we are. All right. That's Ralph's opinion tonight on that. I'm not going to talk no more about the government shutdown. Violence continues in America. We know that. It's all across the country, everywhere. All right. And it's getting real bad, and we're going to talk later on up in Pittsburgh. All right. It's getting really bad up there. All right. It's getting seriously bad. And I mean really bad. Okay. Let's see where we are here. All right. Okay. Yep. So much for this. I was trying to find this audio, but I'm having some issues with it. Here we go. All right. Here we are. This is the Democrats. Okay. This is the Democrats, and this is the Republicans in the state of Pennsylvania. Okay. Here we go. Well, so much for that. Having all kinds of issues tonight. I don't know what's going on here. I have no idea what's going on. None. Don't know. Do not know.
Pittsburgh City Council member Bob.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, that worked. But I can't get this audio for this other one. It's very interesting. Oh, well. Okay, let's get started here. The good, the bad, and the ugly of President Trump. What's good? The Hamas and Israel thing. That is really good. I'm glad that peace agreement happened. He had a meeting, went out, talked about it, had a meeting, went across the pond, and went ahead and did that. Okay, good for him. I'm happy for him. All right. Bad. This government shutdown. It's not only bad, but it's ugly. It's really, really ugly. And the Ukraine-Russian war is still going on, which was supposed to be done 24 hours into his term. Still there. Still bad. All right. The economy, supposedly, according to experts, is bad. These tariffs are hurting people. But according to President Trump, our country's making money. All right. And that's what it's about. It's about making money. All right. He's treating it like a business. All right. We're making money off trades because now we're putting tariffs. The bad news about all this, and this is what's really bad and ugly, is he's putting tariffs on lumber. My contractor, when he comes here, I had to pay extra for lumber for some work I had done on my house. You know why? Because of his tariffs. Okay. Lumber's going up sky high. Construction businesses are charging a ton of money. I had to have new toilets put in my house. Cost me more money than normal because of tariffs. This, that, and whatever. All right. And there's a lot of businesses now that are really taking a bath on all this because they rely on some of that foreign trade for their business. And now it's not happening at all. And that's really sad. I mean, it really is. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news on this, but it's really a sad situation. And I want to apologize for being late tonight. I had a a technical issue I was trying to work out, and it just didn't work. So just wanted to, that's why I was late tonight getting on with this show. All right. The good for President Trump this week was the peace agreement with, the Hamas and the Hamas and Israel, and finally got some peace. Prisoners getting released, that kind of thing. Okay, that's good. The bad is still this. The ugly is this government shutdown. That is the biggest ugly right now for President Trump, and it's still going on. We're in week number 2 of this. It's disgusting. It's disgraceful. All right, and it shouldn't go on, but it is, and that's where we are right now. And you have a lot to do with it as a voter. You need to do something about this. Your Democrats, especially these progressives, are tying everything up all across the board because they will not accept this beautiful bill, or they won't accept the budget as is. All right? And if you're sitting out there cheating Social Security, cheating Medicaid, cheating Medicare, cheating whatever kind of thing you're cheating, you are the one who's going to lose. And good for you. I'm glad you're losing because you're cheating them out. All right? It's that simple. And I don't want anyone to send me any emails. I don't want anyone making derogatory comments about myself. Yeah, I collect Social Security. Let me tell you a little story here. I make no money at this. I do this because I love it. I love talking to you on this microphone. I love talking to you here, putting out this program, putting out this content. I just wish I had more followers, more subscribers, more of everything. Okay? So real soon, this show's going to get syndicated. But I don't make any money on this. I don't, seriously. And I don't have to show you anything. All right? I make no money on this. I spend more money than I make on this. And I know that's a bad way of doing business, but I want to be on the air. I want to be here. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. I want to bring out, talk the good, the bad, and the ugly of President Trump. It's that simple. Okay? That is where we are today with me. So don't sit there and go, oh, Ralph, you have a lot of nerve, man. You're collecting Social Security. Yeah, that's right. But guess what? I don't make no money. I make nothing at this. All my advertisers are all barter. Okay? And if you understand what barter is, or they've done something good for me and I've taken care of them. I do look for sponsors and advertisers, but that pays my airtime on the radio, pays my airtime here, pays my monthly expenses for this. That's all paid for through them. Okay? I make nothing. I don't make anything. All right? And there's reasons for that. Because no one likes me as much as you like some of the stations in Pittsburgh and across the country and around the world. You don't call me and say, hey, look, I got a business here. I see you're in a wheelchair. I see you're doing a lot for people. Nobody bothers. Nobody bothers. All right? Don't tell me you don't know it's at the bottom of the ticker tape. I don't want to hear it. Okay? All right. Couple announcements here. Don't forget this Saturday or later on at 9 o'clock tonight, I will be on Steel City Sports World with Luther Dupree, Claudia Rosano, and Smoke and Jim Frazier. Fillmore and the gang, big row. And we're going to be talking about the Steelers game against the Browns this past week, or this past Sunday. But I have a big announcement to make here. The Ralph Williams, Tony Moreno show. Every Saturday, it's the start of the triple header Ralph Williams Saturday. Every Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., the Ralph Williams, Tony Moreno show. Saturday, 12:50 a.m., 92.5 on the FM dial on The Answer in Western Pennsylvania. And across the country on 1250 The Answer, pgh.com. Excuse me. All right. So don't forget to tune in. And Sunday now, starting on October 26th, I couldn't get the banner up here for some reason. On October 26th, we will be on Sunday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. So with that, it'll be Saturday and Sunday, 2 separate shows of the Ralph Williams, Tony Moreno show. So we're already invading Saturday. Now we're going to invade Sunday as well. And don't forget, Also on let's see here, on Saturday is the college football show every morning at 10 a.m. All right. And that's with me, Ralph Williams, Pensman Sports, and Brian Pettit. All right. So don't forget about that. And then also don't forget about the at 2 p.m. on every Saturday. Well, the college football shows on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter X, and the Huddle Sports Network. All right, here. Every Saturday, 2 p.m., the final show of the day of the Ralph Williams triple header, the Sports Corner radio show with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier, Claudia Rosano, Luther Dupree, 1250 a.m., 92.5 on the FM dial, 1250 theanswerpgh.com. All right, we're done here for the Ralph's Opinion Show. That was my opinion tonight on some of these national topics. Coming up next is The Way I See It with me, Ralph Williams. We got some stuff to talk about. Worcester County, here where I live, they want to increase hotel tax to 1%. Hotels don't need any more taxes. They make enough money. But that's good, because I'm glad they're going to give them 1% tax. I said and I thought about this, but we'll talk about that. The Pennsylvania budget still hasn't been passed, and that's going on almost 90 to 100 days. Shame on you, Pennsylvania. We'll talk about that as well. Coming up, stay tuned right here. If you're not going to stay tuned and you have to go away for whatever, please be safe tonight. Talk to you.
Welcome to another edition of The Way I See It with your host, Ralph Williams. And now, without further ado, Ralph Williams.
I have lived my life my way, fought tonight and fought today. The strongest hearts to say that always survive. I'm falling through the years as each dream it disappears, and the night is full of tears I've been holding on.
Yeah, the late Greg Allman from the Black Rain movie, and that's called "I'll Be Holding On," because I'm always holding on to something here. And the interesting thing is that sort of has something in my life to do with that. And that's a pretty good song by Greg Allman. He did a really good job with that song back in the day, in the late '80s with that movie from 1989. It's called Black Rain with Michael Douglas and Andy Garcia. But so here we are. Welcome to another edition of The Way I See It. I am Ralph Williams here, getting ready for the show, as we have a lot to talk about tonight. Worcester County, Maryland, here where I live, they want to put a 1% tax on hotels. And you know what? I don't have a problem with that because they make a lot of money to begin with. And I've told you many times on here how they gouge everybody. So we're going to talk about that. But first, I got to pay some bills, get them out of the way. Mata Heating and Air Conditioning is our studio sponsor here at Studios. Because I have A, B, and C studios I'm setting up here. B studio will be ready soon. C studio also. So it'll be Studios, number 10 studios here in Berlin, Maryland. Mata Heating and Air Conditioning, 724-201-0500, Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. Also, we are sponsored by Mike Dotson Realty, Ocean City, Maryland, 410-596-1681. Call Mike Dotson today if you need any real estate or if you're interested in any kind of a rental or anything like that in the Delmarva area, in around the Ocean City area, or the Delmarva area, which is Delaware, Maryland. They call it the Delmarva area down here. So I just want to let everyone know that as well. And also, don't forget Carry Insurance. Call my friend Steve to talk to him. 302 area code 642-6201. Serves the Delmarva area very well. He has all types of insurance: life, auto, home, flooding, any kind of insurance you need. And talk to Steve. Tell him Ralph Williams sent you. That number again, area code 302-642-6201. All right, everybody. Tonight, we're going to talk about here on The Way I See It, Worcester County, which happens to be the county I live in here in Berlin, Maryland. They want to put add a 1% tax to hotels here in Ocean City. And I know what you're thinking. Well, I got to pay more money at the hotel. Let me see what we got here. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for your comment as well here. Hold on, my eyes are giving me a little bit of a problem tonight, a little bit there. All right. I appreciate it. Thank you. I am the man. I appreciate that. Thank you. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter X, and also subscribe to my social media platform. Pensman Sports is my monitor. So any topic that the topics at hand of what we're talking about is what we will take comments on tonight. So if you have any comments that you want to add, you live in the Delmarva area, are you unhappy with this 1% tax? Do you own a business? Do you own one of the hotels here? I want to hear from you. I want to know why you think there shouldn't be a 1% tax. You do make a lot of money. These hotels down here, they gouge people so bad, it's unbelievable. And many times on this program, if you've watched it, I have told you about how they gouge everybody down here. And what bothers me the most is that people accept that. People pay for that. People are not willing to be cheap when they go on a vacation. They're not willing to, stay at a motel instead of getting free breakfast. Maybe bring your own breakfast. You got a refrigerator in most of these motel rooms or hotels. Bring your own breakfast. I want you to do something for me. Go on TLC. That's the Learning Channel. There used to be a show on there called Extreme Cheapskates. And, I'm really surprised nowadays that people are not cheapskates because of the economy and because of everybody crying and moaning and groaning. But the mall lots are crowded. Okay? The mall parking lots are crowded. The stores are crowded. Everybody's going out and doing things. So where is this bad economy at? All right? But Worcester County, rather than raising taxes on property taxes, which, of course, they just lowered property taxes here, which is good news for me. Okay. So, or my family, more or less, not me personally, but my family who I live here with. Okay. All right. It's good for them. It's great for them. Super duper. So they decided to put a 1% tax on hotels. Good. I think it should happen because all them hotels down on the boardwalk in Ocean City gouge people when they have special events. They raise prices sky high. You know, the interesting thing is in Pittsburgh, I can be surprised that that next year's NFL draft probably going to be paying $800 a night for a room. And even at a motel that's maybe 30, 40, 50 bucks, $100, you'll probably pay $300-$400 for a room for one night. Okay. Hotels will get you any way they can. All right. And I get it. It's a tough business. You have times and points where you're not making any money. And to me, that's kind of unacceptable. As a consumer, that's unacceptable. All right. I get it. It's a business, the insurance business. I've criticized them here. I've criticized the hotels. I've gotten on Rick Meehan. And I want to congratulate Rick Meehan and give him credit today. You know why? We had a bad storm last week. Or this week. Or last week, yeah. We had some recurring winds and rain and flooding and all that from the hurricane that came up the coast. All right. I didn't have any real major flooding. The only flooding I had was on my ramp, my wheelchair ramp. That's in front of my house. It got flooded, and I couldn't use it, which I wasn't planning on going out anyway. I, unlike some of you, went out and got my stuff, went out and got things I needed, went out and got that. All right. I'm the kind of guy that my family and I, we go out and we stockpile everything that we need. I don't go into Ocean City when the weather's bad like this because I know it's going to flood. Okay. I stay away from that stuff. But no, there are people who want to go to Ocean City and look at the flooding. When I lived in Pittsburgh and there was flooding all over the place, do you know people would actually go down there and take pictures and cut school and do whatever just to look at floodwaters? Let me ask you this: what is so involved in this? What do you know? Why do you want to do this? What gives you the mindset to want to do that? I don't need to do that. If I want to look at floodwaters, people post videos on YouTube. I'm sitting in the comfort of my own home. Okay. But the 1% tax on hotels, I'm for that. They make a lot of money. They make too much money, and they gouge people all the time. I'm a victim of that. A boardwalk hotel 3 years ago tried to gouge me, and I told them to eat it. Okay? To eat it. And that's something you need to do. And then maybe some of these prices will go down. And maybe these hotels on the boardwalk will understand that you don't gouge people. I had friends that came down here. They had to stay off the boardwalk because the hotels were so expensive, $600, $700, $800 a night. And now they want to get rid of summer rentals because it's affecting the hotel business. And you know something? Ocean City's council has members on there that are part of the hotel industry. So that's probably why it is what it is. And they don't want this 1% tax, but I do. And that's the way I see it tonight. The way I see it about the flooding. Ocean City still hasn't fixed that problem. All right. They need to fix it. They should have fixed it a long time ago. The streets flood as soon as we get an inch of rain or less. The streets flood down there. You have a very bad drainage system. That's one of the reasons I didn't pick a place. I looked at places when I came down here. I looked at places in Ocean City, Maryland, and I said, no, I wasn't doing it because of the flooding. I don't want none of that. Here, I don't live in a floodplain. I live in a nice plan right outside of Ocean City in Berlin, Maryland. Okay? I'm not far from the boardwalk. I'm not far from Ocean City. But what I do is what I do, and that is pick and choose my times to go there. I love going there in the fall. I've been there in the fall. It's beautiful. Been there in the spring. It's nice. Why? There's nobody there. I don't have to worry about getting mugged. I don't have to worry about anybody bothering me. I don't have none of that stuff. But I do go in the summertime just to do some promotion, which I've done. I do go in the summertime to meet friends of mine down there. I always meet them at the boardwalk. All right. You ask Pensman Sports, he and I have met down there at the boardwalk. Okay. But what I'm saying to you tonight is that if you are a person who doesn't want to spend a lot of money in Ocean City, then don't. Watch that Extreme Cheapskates. Go to season 3 when you get in there and watch Vacation. And watch how some of these people save money. And I mean, I know I probably wouldn't do it. My wife wouldn't put up with that. There are a lot of wives and husbands out there that wouldn't put up with none of these cheapskate stuff. But watch Extreme Cheapskates one time and watch how people live. I'm surprised right now that the way the whining people are about this economy and the way everyone's whining about everything else, that they're not doing this. Okay? And I know we have a lot of people out here who are living in cars, living in RVs, some RV places, especially on the West Coast, are selling out of RVs faster than they can keep. Old RVs that are up on Facebook on the marketplace are going for cheap prices because people are buying them up because they have no place to live because it's so expensive. All right. It's really, really expensive to live in the West Coast. It's expensive all across the country now. And no matter where you go, even in Pittsburgh, it's even expensive. And, you know, Pittsburgh used to be a really nice place to live back in the 90s. And Vegas was kind of like, their economy was kind of like a Pittsburgh. Now I heard Vegas, and you've heard me do my series on casino towns and how Vegas is struggling. Atlantic City's not doing well. Tunica, Mississippi, Erie, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, all these casino towns that are losing money because there's casinos everywhere now. I don't need to go to Vegas. I got everything I want here. I got a boardwalk. I got a beach. I got the ocean. I got a casino. What do I need to go anywhere? I haven't been to Atlantic City since the early 2000s. But why would I want to go there now when I don't need to? And I heard it's bad there anyway. So why would I want to do that? Why would I want to subject myself to that? But there are people like out there that want to subject themselves to this stuff. And that's the way I see it tonight on that. Next, let's go into the Pennsylvania state budget. You know what? Shame on you, Governor Shapiro. Shame on you for screwing the Republicans. You lied. You lied. All right? And I'm going to send the alarm out to anyone who's a voter in Pennsylvania. And if you're a voter across the country, all right, and you vote and you want somebody who is going to be a president that's not going to lie and screw over other people, don't vote for Governor Shapiro from the state of Pennsylvania. Josh Shapiro, if he runs for president, do not vote for him. Why? I'll give you 2 examples why. When he was attorney general, he screwed over small businesses during COVID. He actually went and shut them down, arrested business owners, and gave them fines because they were open during COVID. COVID. That's how I call it. Okay, COVID's over. COVID's done. There's no need to even talk about COVID at this point, unless there's something else going on. All right? Okay? And now you have Governor Shapiro who thinks in 2028 he's going to run for president and be president. How can you do that? How can you even justify that? If you thought the national budget was bad, the PA budget's even worse. Okay? They've been going over almost over 100 days. 100 days without the budget. And now I found out tonight that an organization that I once helped out when I drove a cab, Pittsburgh Action Against Rape, is having some problems with their funding. They have to lay off employees, cut programs, and that affects women who have gotten raped. It's an agency that helps these people. They have advocates there. That, you know, women get sexually assaulted, women, you know, and that agency does that. And now, because of you, Governor Shapiro, screwing over the Republicans when they asked you about education and you said, and I quote, and this is Governor Shapiro, I'm going, okay, I'll give you your funding for education. And he didn't. He cut it. He didn't. He put it towards vouchers or something to that effect, but he didn't keep the education policy that he promised the Republicans he was going to do. Is that the type of person that you want as a governor or as a president? Is that the type of person who gives Pittsburgh $600 million when you know that the mayor of Pittsburgh, Ed Gainey, was going to spend it, and you gave it to them and said, use it for public safety and public works, and you went ahead and took it, and they used it for other things. Okay? All right? So what in the world is going on here? Why is this happening? What's going on? Why did you lie, Governor Shapiro? Why? Pennsylvania, you lied. You told the Republicans, and I quote, that you were going to help them with education, and you did nothing. Nothing. You let them hang in the wind. And now you want them to sit back and pass a budget. And I urge everybody who lives in Pennsylvania right now, whoever's going to run against Josh Shapiro, that you vote him out. I would. If I lived in Pennsylvania and could vote, I would. I'd vote him out. I can't respect the liar. Now, I am happy about one thing that's happened up in PA. The suspect involved in the house fire at the governor's mansion, the Governor Shapiro's mansion, has pled guilty. All right. He's going to jail. I'm happy about finally some justice in Pennsylvania, because you got this progressive governor who you got all these people on death row. You won't do nothing about the death penalty. Okay. So why even have the death penalty in Pennsylvania when you're not going to do anything about it? You got a bunch of guys there, bomb hammers. You got who went around Pittsburgh and was shooting everybody the day I had to close on my house. You decided to go shooting all over the place, blocks down the street from the office where I had to go close on my house. All right. He was a racist. He decided to go out and cause all this problem. Excuse me. You know, he went around shooting synagogues and all that other stuff. You got the guy who shot at the Jewish synagogues in Pittsburgh. You got all these people on death row or waiting for the death penalty that never will happen in Pennsylvania. And they're sitting there, and you, the taxpayer, are paying for it. And I know what you're thinking. Well, you know what? That's not right to be doing that. That's because you are one of those liberal Democrats who really can't stand this stuff. You don't like crime. You got magistrates up in Pittsburgh. You got magistrates all across the country that are letting people out on no bail because you're a progressive. And you know what I think about progressives. I've said it 1,000 times. And I'm not going to say any more about progressives. All right. Brandon Keeler tuning in on Facebook. Thank you, Brandon, from the Sports Nut Show. All right. So, continue to do this, continue to, just let this happen. And, all you voters in Pennsylvania are all weak. If you're Democrat, you stay Democrat. If you're Republican, you stay Republican. Why? The Democrats have failed. They have failed the working class people. The Democrats have failed working class people, and they've done it for years now. And they're going to continue to do it in Pennsylvania. And they're going to continue to do it across the country. We've already done our national talk. But I'm telling you, PA, Maryland Democrats, look at who you have for a governor. Okay? All right? So that has Maryland and $2 billion in the hole. In the hole. $2 billion, and that's what it be. But our roads get salted here. They get plowed. The state police is on guard everywhere. No matter where you travel in Maryland here, on your way to Ocean City, you will see a state cop. Not in Pennsylvania. And Pennsylvania has a surplus. I don't want to be a cop. I don't want to be anything. I don't want to do anything. Okay? And I thought when I came down here that everybody in Ocean City worked. They do. They hustle. There's a lot of guys that hustle and work and do different things, 2, 3, sometimes a bunch of jobs, but they hustle. They make money. And they like it. They like the work. They want to do it. Up in PA, you got a bunch of people who all they do is whine and cry and complain and don't want to do anything. All right? Pennsylvania is called Taxylvania. They have the worst taxes anywhere in the United States. Anywhere. The legislatures there make more money than all of us. They have a hush fund that's got billions and billions of dollars in it. That not only do they get a pension, but they get to take money out of that hush fund. And nobody knows about that hush fund because it's not publicized by too many people. I know about it because some media colleagues of mine told me about it. Okay? All right? That tonight is the way I see it. Thank you for tuning into the program tonight, but I got some announcements as I always do here. All right? So let's take a look at a couple things here. Let's put this up. This is my schedule of all of the shows that are on social media. We start on Tuesday with the Sports Corner Sports Corner show with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier. Wrestle Talk immediately following at 5 o'clock. 4 o'clock is Sports Corner. And then Wednesdays here is the Ralph's Opinion show and The Way I See It. And then on Saturday, we have the college football show at 10 a.m. And that's part of which I'm going to get into right now, the triple header of Ralph Williams Saturday, which starts off with the Ralph Williams Tony Moreno show on 12:50 a.m. The Answer in Pittsburgh, 92.5 on the FM dial, 12:50 Answer, pgh.com. All right, and we're on starting October 26th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Check my social media platforms. We are going to be on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. So you have the Ralph Williams Tony Moreno show on Saturday and on Sunday. So you get us twice in a weekend. We've invaded Saturdays and we're winning. And now we're going to invade Sunday and we're going to win again. All right. And then not only do we have the college football show at 10 a.m. with me, Ralph Williams, Brian Pettit, and Leo Haggerty from Amped Up Sports, but we also do, and this is at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on 12:50 a.m. The Answer, 92.5 on the FM dial, the Sports Corner radio show with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier, Claudia Rosano, and Luther Dupree. Okay? We do that show, which is invading Saturday afternoons in that time slot. We are winning. Ralph's RW Media Productions is winning. We are winning this race. And I told you, and I said this many times, I'm going to win. And I'm going to do it the way I need to do it in winning. And I don't care how far I have to go to win, I will do so. Because I was treated in Pittsburgh like a redheaded stepchild, and it was sad. Really, really sad. Okay? The way I was treated there. It was disgusting. Okay? And I'm not going to put up with it anymore. And I'm going to take out the big K, and I'm going to take out everybody up there who mistreated me. Who thought that I wasn't talented enough, or who thought that I didn't have this enough, or whatever. All right? I know what you're probably saying. Well, you're jealous, Ralph. No, I'm not jealous. I'm just telling it like I see it. And the way I see it right now with that's bad. All right? But it's the media business. It's the way it is. It's backstabbing. It always has been. Okay? All right. And don't forget to tune into my my other media partners here as well. Pensman Sports. He has stuff on his Facebook and YouTube channel. He's also on Twitch now, and he's moving up. And it's my pleasure to be helping him. And we're friends, and Pensman's a good guy. He has a lot of shorts. He does a lot of different things about the New York Yankees and many other things. We also does a Steeler postgame show with me. We will not be doing a postgame show tomorrow night because it's a late game, and both of us are. I'm not staying up late to do anything. I may do a Ralph's Report Sports Edition as a postgame show. I will be doing that tomorrow, but as the official post-game show with me, Ralph Williams, Pensman Sports. Sometimes we have Brandon Keeler on from the Sports Nuts and Brian Pettit on from the Tiger Stripes Media, who's Brian's network is right here. Don't forget to tune into him. Okay. All right. And then also don't forget to tune in to Brandon Keeler and the Sports Nuts Show. He has some great shows Tuesdays and Fridays. He does some great stuff. He has great interviews, great content. He's also on the radio as well, simulcasted. So tune into his shows, YouTube, Facebook. And when you tune into his shows, he'll tell you what radio station he's on, so you can tune in there too as well if you want. All right. All right. I'm Ralph Williams. It's been another edition of The Way I See It. And every Wednesday, join us here, 7:30. We start off with Ralph's Opinion. We talk national topics, and then we go into this show, The Way I See It. That's every Wednesday night right here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, X, and the Kick platforms. All right. So until next week, have yourself a great one. And please, by all means, please be safe. Thank you.